And good afternoon, everybody. We're having a special Sunday broadcast. I am joined with Steve, and we have a few people in the audience already, spectators here, being a good spectator. And we know that Bronco Bear is in Israel right now watching this. He's over there. And once you arrive there, they put you in quarantine for 2 weeks. So this is going to give him something to watch. He's already told me in an email he can't wait. So we are going to try our best to be entertaining.
I don't know what we're going to do. I'm not a song and dance man, but I'll try.
And we've already did this once about 2 weeks ago. So now we're ready for part 2 of the adventures of Steve and Micah. So strap in and enjoy this 7-hour broadcast as we as we go through everything. It'll just seem like 7 hours, folks.
Yeah, really, right? Yeah.
So we welcome everybody watching, of course. And I must give a hearty thank you to Steve. I'm going to embarrass him. Sorry about that, Steve. But I was talking to Gratu on his channel saying, hey, do you know this Thongor was a bunch of novels? And Steve has graciously located some for me. Look at that beautiful monster there. And he decided to send these my way. So fantastic. So I can't wait to it's nice to know a fellow bookworm, if I could call us that. But I'm afraid that something like this, see, that scares certain youngsters today. All those words, I like them. So, but thanks again, good buddy.
You're welcome.
And,
my pleasure.
They look sharp, and even the spines are fantastic. So, speaking of books, I like books, kind of all kinds. I don't know how many big little books you got, but
there you go. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice one. The spines are usually the thing that first to go. That's very cool.
Check out this little ship on the back cover. The art, and I believe this was a movie of some kind, so it's almost a photograph.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. I know movie comics back in the 30s did that. They had movie stills as a comic panel with word bubbles, word balloons. Oh, that's nice. There you go. That's a pretty nice condition, big little book. It really is very nice. I had some Gene Autry ones. They're not as nice as that one, though.
Yeah. Oh, you have Gene Autry's. Excellent.
Yeah. Let me see if I can grab them real quick. Hold on. It should be handy.
I pulled out a Western to show you because you and I are both Western fans. And Eric Breen's in the crowd. Yeah. I'm going to go mow the lawn while Steve talks, and I'll go to Sonic. We're just kidding, Gratu. We love you. My playbill sign during the interview. Yes, you can. Hey, Meyer.
What's up, fellas? What's the Western one you got?
Guns in the Roaring West.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
So there's the spine.
Cool spine.
So not too bad. Here's a couple of Indians. The art's okay.
Yeah, I mean you get what you can get, those little pages.
Yeah. But surprisingly, for decades that has survived.
Yeah.
It's amazing how, and I don't do anything special. They just sit inside a cabinet like that.
Yeah.
I don't do anything.
Yeah.
You said you had some Gene Autry.
Yeah, I got this one here, Riders of the Range.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a spine on that one.
So it's a continuation, like a wraparound.
Yeah. Kind of like that a little bit. And I had this Gene Autry.
Whoa.
The spine on that one. And this has a little, I don't know if I can do it or not, but.
Yeah, the little movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Mickey Mouse one where Pluto was running.
Yeah, it's got a little
horse run.
You could move. Yeah. This is one of my favorite covers. This Gene Autry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a spine on that one. This is probably my best condition one. And my worst, I don't like the cover, but the spine is great. This Gene Autry here. And you don't see him until you see the spine.
Yeah. Well,
you know, but it's a very nice movie poster-esque image of Gene. And I have a Tim McCoy. So it's a very nice cover of the Colonel there. Yeah, those are my big little books that I have. They're a treasure. I mean, they're neat to have. Either you can find them very, very cheap, as you know, a couple bucks, or they're like $50, depending on where you go.
Yeah. I almost feel King of the Royal Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know if I classify that as a Western.
Right. I think I would say more of like an adventure. You know, right there like with the Phantom or something.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I didn't show this on the Dragons and Dinosaurs episode, but I have this Trag. He's kind of a skeleton.
Mm-hmm. That's neat.
And he's getting hit like with Thor's hammer.
Right in the eye.
So, but I now have all 9 of the Trag.
Okay.
And they appeared 2 times, I think, in Gold Key Spotlight. If that's the name of the place. Okay. So, and I think I have one of those, but I don't know if I showed you these the other day when I was showing you Boris Karloff. These weren't that creepy. So it's just a robot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm going to go for the whole run. If I
yeah. How many are there? Do you know? I don't have my price guide handy.
I think there's like 97.
Okay.
So I may have about 40, 35. I don't know.
As long as they don't make a movie, a Boris Karloff movie, you're going to be okay.
Well, they won't. It would have to be Borisetta. They'd have to.
Yeah, you're right.
Make it a girl.
Yeah, you're right.
And speaking of girl, I was watching Englantine's big auctions that he has a few weeks ago, and he had a couple of Dragonfly. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this one, Steve. It's
I have, but I've never read anything. But I've heard of the character.
Not bad.
Okay.
I think it's like 8 issues in all.
Okay.
And I mean, typical 1985.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what attracted me to it was the big insects.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
And I thought, okay, I'll give that a shot.
Yeah.
The other one was
something to draw you in. That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
So it's Rick Levin's art. In fact, let me find number 4 again. There it is. I'm hoping to find somebody that owns this, and they can confer by looking at their copy, because I think I have a little autograph on this.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
It's at the bottom.
I would say, yeah, the placement and stuff. That's how we did it back in the day.
Well, I've been trying to feel it. I've been trying to stare at it.
Mm-hmm.
On the back of it, I don't see any indentation.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I guess I need to go find another copy.
Yeah.
But this was the copy from Englandine, and there's a tear at the top, and so it's not 100% fantastic, but if that is an autograph, that's pretty cool, I guess. But anyway, interesting little series.
That's pretty cool.
No comics code, so they get to call people the B word, and look at us, we're so sophisticated.
We're so cool.
we could curse like it's late night TV.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was well drawn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look for those trags. I'm interested in that series now. After you showed them all, the ones that you have, I'm very interested in that series. I'm gonna look for them in Baltimore when I go at the end of the month. Hopefully, I can find them.
The interior art is real. Like this front cover is by Jesse Santos.
Mm-hmm.
But the interior is some people would consider real kind of sketchy.
Okay. Looks nice. Was it Dan Spiegel?
Probably.
It looks like Dan Spiegel for the little picture.
Yeah. Story by Don Glut, art by Dan Spiegel.
Okay.
But
I liked his Blackhawk run in the 80s. That was fun.
And hello to Christopher and Bronco Bears watching over in Israel.
What's up, guys?
Gotham City.
Cool.
If any of you guys would like to pop in, I've put the address in the chat or the link. So Steve and I are not shy. We'll take on all comers.
Yes.
Well, do you have anything to talk about? Or?
Yeah, I have a little reading pile, and the comic books that we've been pulling out for our Wednesday sessions, or Wednesday night live streams. Of course, you want to read them before you put them away. So then I was putting those away, taking more out to make room for those, and I don't know where they come from. It's like I can pull stuff out, and then I like, where do these things go now? I have no more room. So I pull out another box to hope to make room. So I'm going to dig through that box that I'm using as a reading box and just talk about some books. One of the things, this shows the popularity. It's not a very good copy. It's my childhood copy, but the Super Team Family #4. It's been showing up on Instagram a lot. People talking about what a great book this is, and it's true. It's before I knew about reprints and before I knew about these were not original stories. But this is a very cool, affordable golden age story with the JSA in it, if anyone ever inclined to get this. But it's just a phenomenal little comic, and for some reason, everyone loves Solomon Grundy on Instagram, so it's been popping up, and I've been loving it. And I got to make a comment every time I see it about what a great comic book that it is, and I still have my childhood copy from back in the day. I need to get another one, but I don't want to sully my original copy on by getting an imposter, so to speak.
Is that the reprint of the All-Star Comics reprint?
Yeah, and there's I forget what year this was. I think it was 46 or 48, something like that. But the Revenge of Solomon Grundy, and there's such a killer splash page there, and Diver Heroes. Well, I don't want to break it. I don't want to bend it. So it's such a great story. If anyone ever sees this, pick it up. You won't be disappointed in that comic, although it is a reprint.
The way they originally drew him, I got the impression they wanted him to appear 8 or 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
Later on, though, he seems to be an NBA forward or a guard.
Yeah.
Maybe 6'8". But
I know what you mean, because he's huge in this. He's ripping apart a car, and it's a pretty good representation of what you're talking about, how big he's supposed to be. when they first brought him out. But you're right. He's such a cool character. He's not used all that much this day and age, but it's a fun book.
I agree. Yeah, the super team family,
Number 4.
Batman family, all those are.
Oh yeah.
I think the Superman family takes over for Jimmy Olsen's numbering.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I could be wrong on that, but
okay. I didn't know that. But yeah, they're great books. You get a lot of stuff in there. Again, when you're a kid, you don't know the reprints. You just take it for what it is, you know. One of my pride and joys right now, so I can get his first appearance, is Space Adventures number 35. Of course, he first appeared in 33. This is 35. Captain Atom is who I'm referring to. 1960, this particular issue. Pretty obviously there's a Ditko on the cover. And this is a really good Ditko cover. The coloring is really, really good. Space Adventures number 10, science fiction, Ditko all the way. 1954.
Wow. And by the way, that one you showed Wednesday night with the dragon on it.
Oh yeah,
that was dynamite.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, it was something I snagged. I paid a lot more than I should have.
Well,
but I don't see Charlton's that kind of condition that early for as inexpensive that it was. Even though I paid more than I should, I bit the bullet. I tried to talk the guy down. He went down a few dollars, but he wasn't budging that much. So, but yeah, I appreciate that. That's one of my go-to books when I want to show a Charlton, you know. Another book that is near and dear to my heart is What If number 3.
Yeah.
That is, to me, if I had to pick a comic book to tell people what comics are about, this probably would be the book I would give them. This has everything in it. The story is awesome. It has adventure. It has tragedy. It's got everything you can ask for in a story. The art is sensational. Gil Kane and Klaus Janson, Jim Shooter on the scripts, just a phenomenal. I know people have seen it. I don't know if people have actually sat down to read it, but it's just so good. And then this is the book, the calling card of comic book collecting that I'd give someone to, why do you like comic books so much? I'd give them this book. And this is the only book I'm taking to Baltimore to get signed by Jim Shooter. It's the only thing I'm taking. I'm not taking any other books, nothing else to get signed. All the stuff Jim Shooter's done, so it kind of says how much I like this book to have him sign this particular issue.
Where do you hope he'll sign it?
This is a white cover. I like to do the inside if I can, but the white cover, his signature would look really good. I'm opposite, right in there. Yeah. But he writes so big. So I might have him do it on the inside of the page. But yeah, it's such a great comic book. I don't know if you've read it, Micah, but it's so good.
Long time ago.
But yeah.
And it's too bad you can't like tape off a section, sign here.
Yeah. Because again, like I said, he writes so darn big.
Yeah.
And but that little area in the white, it looked really good. It would look really good. So we'll see. That's the only book I'm taking to Baltimore at the end of the month. Is that one book? So,
your mileage may vary. I don't know if I'd want anybody signing. Like I showed you that one that Rick may have signed. I don't know. That's fine, but I would just soon them sign a white card,
right?
All framed. The picture next to the card.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
But that's what
Yeah. People they think they're damaging the books, and I can see it. I understand what they're saying.
Well,
I just never leave in my collection, so I think it's cool to have a signature. But again, people like you're writing on the comic. What are you doing? I
don't worry about damaging books.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll keep them in the bag and board, but that's about it. You got bound books?
Because
Yes.
I bind them, so
Yeah, I get mine. Do you do your own binding?
I send them to California.
Okay. Who do you use? What's the name of the company?
It's Herring and Robinson. I think that's their
Okay.
name. It's been
I
a
use
while.
a binding company called Hushin Binding Company. I think it's out of Minnesota, and I get my stuff bound. I've got my Moon Knights bound, X-Men Hidden Years, Airboy, Starman, Sandman Mystery Theater, Black Hawk, bunch of guys said, yeah, I love that stuff. Yeah, I get stuff bound too, man, and I really dig having bound volumes.
So if, like when I did my Fantastic Four run, if I thought the Thing tied in with it, I would go ahead and put it in so that I could read it kind of straight through. Now when I did that, this story continued in Daredevil.
Yes, yeah.
So I had to put that one in, which is fine. And then we're right back to business. So, and I always liked making my own little my index page.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So I would write down what's all in the book, and so that I would. This one is number 137 to 152, and
that's very cool.
Very basic.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I don't want any like a lot of gaudy writing or anything like that. It's very straightforward, like you see at the library, and you know what you see on the spine, and that's what you're going to get when you open it up.
So I made a little splash page.
Oh, that's cool.
You recognize that Kirby?
Yeah.
So, but and then here I threw in a Marvel 2-in-1.
Oh yeah.
I like I like continuity, and also when you get to number 180, a lot of guys probably recognize this cover because this was that terrible time where they didn't have a story for it, and the monthly deadline was approaching, and they threw in a reprint of 101.
Okay.
So I put in, and here's the King Kong on the back cover of that cover. I put in a little page explaining what they did, and then you move on to the very next issue. So I didn't go ahead and put the reprint of 101 in here because, well, it's my book. I can do it any way I want. So
you're the publisher. You get to do what you want and how you see fit.
There's that crazy cover. Gratu hates this movie, and I agree. It's a terrible movie, but as a little kid, I would stare at that.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was amazing image. But when we bind a book, we call that mapping. Okay. Because if you're gonna bind Batman, well, every now and then maybe the story got continued over in Detective Comics, and so you'd want to grab one of the Detective Comics to put in with your filing of your book if you want to be able to read it all the way through. That's one of the great things that these epic reprints that Marvel is doing. They will do that. They're going through the Avengers, and when you get to a certain point in the Avengers, you run smack dab into that Defenders Avengers crossover for about 3 or 4 issues where you had to go pick up the Defenders, then you had to go back to the Avengers, and so they went ahead and just put those in there in the Avengers volume.
Right. That's a good way of doing it. Yeah.
So
I did that when I did my Vigilante run. I put his first appearance, the Teen Titans Annual 1, at the beginning before issue 1 of the Vigilante run, because that was his first appearance, and you get a taste of the character before. It's not with my Teen Titans run, but now it's with my Vigilante run.
Dr. Silverage showed me his copy of that Hulk number 2, and I did make comment on the signature. But I was trying to do it very gentle. But I think the poor doctor realized that I was kind of like, why would you let him sign on that? But Stan's signature was like, might as well put a coffee mug on the cover.
Yeah. What could you do, you know?
No, I totally understand.
Yeah.
It's Stan. Hey, Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
Once again, gentlemen, the link is in the chat, so feel free to come straighten us out. So I'm going to be binding the Web of Spider-Man, and
Oh, that's cool. That's a good run.
so what I do is I go ahead and I segregate about 21 to 22 of the books in order, and I go through and I make sure, does this miss anything? Do I need to add something to it? Or even like one page from another book where something got cross-referenced. And then, of course, that looks really too thick because it's got all the backer boards.
Right.
I pop the staples, and then I put it back in this little bag and I ship it to California.
Okay.
So this would probably be like Web of Spider-Man Volume 5 when I'm all said and done. And of course, I'm working on that stack as well.
Nice.
But I'm only going to go up to number 100 on it.
Okay.
I don't really care what happens after like issue 101. They get into that weird story called Maximum Carnage, and I'm more of a gold, silver, and bronze guy. And this, you're already into the copper at that point. But
yeah, that's a pretty nice setup you got there with that company. The company I use, they do the same thing. You get to pick what kind of, they can do photographic fronts on your books. You can have a cover. You can get the logo, the DC logo if you want. But I just do like you do, nice, straightforward stuff on the spine that's inside the book. And what's really cool is that you can take a bunch of ratty comics, get them bound because they trim everything around them.
Yeah.
So they look like they're new books. And I did that to a buddy of mine who didn't know anything about Charlton. So I got a whole bunch of stuff bound. Different Charlton comics. Like maybe go to Dr. Graves, it might be, Dr. Conf, Professor Compton, whatever. And I did about 20 issues. And they were not that good a shape, but once they were bound, you never would have known. And actually, I sent that to him. He's pretty happy to have all those different Charltons all in one volume.
Now you said you had a Vigilante bound,
yes.
Right?
Yeah, the 80s version.
So your bound copies aren't just you finding good deals on eBay. You actually plan and send things away.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, these are my childhood copies. These are the ones I bought off the rack back in the early, when that series came out. I sent it out to them. I haven't finished volume 2 yet. I've only got volume 1 done. It takes me a while to send them out. It's such a pain. I don't like sending my books out. I don't want anything to happen to them. So I'm kind of lackadaisical when it comes to sending stuff out to them. But I've only got volume 1 of Starman and only volume 1 of Starman Mystery Theater. I've got them all segregated like you do. Have them all in bags, 20 to 25 issues. If there's an annual, I've got them segregated. I just haven't sent them out yet.
I haven't run across anybody that gets mad at me for doing it. Because when I tell them I bound all the issues of Scamp Gold Key, but I didn't bind my Dell Scamp. And when they hear me, they're hearing me, oh, you bound some books from the 1970s. Okay. Then they're not too worried. I mean, I think they get the first impression that I'm taking Amazing Fantasy 15 and I'm binding it with Action Number 1.
Right.
And I'm not doing that. I'm doing things of books that you guys can find thousands of them.
Exactly.
So
that's exactly it. I mean, I'm not sitting there binding all my old Charlton or anything like that, from the 50s. But like Moon Knight, everyone's jumping on the Moon Knight bandwagon. I bound my Moon Knight years ago.
Yeah.
So I've got every Moon Knight that I have are bound. I don't have volumes 3 or 4 yet, but they're segregated to get sent. But volumes 1 and 2 I have already bound. And everyone's like, oh my God, you got your Moon Knight 1 bound? It's worth it. Like, well, you know what? It's not. It's what I like. basically what I wanted to do with my collection. And it's great reading. I mean, you pull up the shelf, and as you know, you've got it in one fell swoop. A 20 issue storyline if you want to sit down and read all 20 issues.
And the things I'm binding, like, I'm binding Woody Woodpecker. There's no one's going to get mad at you.
Right.
There's not a bunch of deranged Woody Woodpecker fans out there. So probably the nicest thing that I've bound were some Dell Tarzans, and I put some gold key in there with it.
Okay.
And they're beautiful, but you can still find them elsewhere. I've got them in a volume, and they look good. You can read the gutter. There's no, that's what you usually worry about.
Yes, that's exactly what the Hushin binding worries about for me too. They have fabric where they extend the book out, so the gutter's nice and open where you can read and see the panel. And I got artwork in some of my bound volumes. Like I've taken to artists or whoever, and they'll do a sketch on the end paper. I've got several bound volumes where I've got original art inside of the bound because they're pretty impressed by that you would take their series and enjoy it enough to make a bound volume of their work, and they're pretty impressed by that.
So let's see. We're getting a lot of no takers in the crowd, Steve. They don't want to join us.
That's all right. They can shut out in the rafters, enjoy a beverage, and watch us yammer on about comics. So
I pull books at random here, and I have stacks of stuff laying around that don't really belong with each other.
Mm-hmm. Join the club.
I'm back out here because I've missed it out here so much, but I came across, I forgot I had number 1 of Robin Hood.
And, that's cool. That's a DC or that Gold Key? Okay.
Yes, Gold Key. Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't see the image at first. I just saw the bears on there, and then I knew what it was from.
And the cartoon, not that great, maybe. I think it was the music wasn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
But you had Phil Harris as the bear.
Yeah, you're right. It is Phil Harris.
And yes. I have to make sure some of our younger viewers know who Phil Harris is by dropping a name that they won't know anywhere. Phil Harris was the orchestra leader for the Jack Benny radio show, and they won't know who Jack Benny is either. So,
or Alice Faye, or anybody.
Yeah.
Dennis Day.
But you tell them, okay, Phil Harris did the bear's voice on Robin Hood, but he did the bear's voice on the Jungle Book cartoon. Mm-hmm. They might have seen the Jungle Book cartoon.
Yeah.
And so, but
classic. It's kind of funny though. I mean, you had these guys that were so popular back then, and it's just like they're non-existent now. And I think it's kind of strange, that it should be on someone's lips at some point, other than listening to us, the younger viewers, 53, 54. Yeah, it's us.
There's the omnibus, yeah.
Yeah. I've got the Suspense omnibus, and I got the Doom Patrol one.
Now, if I know they're going to be printing a nice volume of something that I was like, if I found out they were going to do Web of Spider-Man, I'd not do this. I would, because I'm sure they're going to print it on good paper, good colors. I'll be able to read it for years to come.
Yeah.
But if they're not going to mess with something like Web of Spider-Man, then I'm going to bind it. So
right. Yeah, I did that with the X-Men Hidden Years by John Byrne and Tom Palmer. I did 2 volumes of that, thinking they weren't going to put it out again, but they did. I had already bound it, so such is life.
Well, Spectator, I don't know if Robin Hood was hate or despised as much as they were disappointed it wasn't another Lady and the Tramp. It wasn't another Snow White.
Right.
But
Good
it was all right. I mean, Robin Hood and the Aristocats are in that little time period where I think Disney was more interested in proving, hey, we make real movies, we make action movies, but we're not just animators.
Right.
So in my stack with Robin Hood is, well, the obvious connection would be Luke Cage, number 7. So,
Yeah, that popped right into my mind. I'm glad
Yeah.
you pulled that out. I was wondering when that was going to come up after Robin Hood.
I'm very eclectic.
Yes, that's one thing about our channels, though. Seriously, the ones that we mostly interact with, not just there's a lot of other channels out there, but we're eclectic. It's like people have so much different tastes and so much different avenues that they're collecting that it's just awesome, you know.
So, and on top of that, I showed you the dragonfly, that lady dragonfly.
Yes.
Speaking of insects, here's the 6-handed Spider-Man. So
That was freaking me out when I was a kid. I didn't understand it. I was like, what's going on?
you know, so if this were a movie, I think they'd yell, "Cut, Morbius! Look, you turned your back to the camera. You have to do this. You have to do this scene all over again."
Yeah.
But what? I'll do this perspective. Huh. Okay. So, I know you're not necessarily a Spider-Man fan, but I really like Craven.
Yeah, Craven's very, very cool. He's one of my favorite guys. When I see him try and take on Sabu from Kazar, he tried to capture Zabu, and that ever since then, I'm like, oh, he's a cool character, man. He's going after the big cats. Yeah, I like Craven.
But you talk about one of the villains that wasn't too appreciated was Mindworm.
Okay.
And I mean, you know,
I like
you've had the Green Goblin, you've had the Vulture, you've had Dr. Octopus,
Worm.
and you have Mindworm. Wow, kids. They just couldn't wait to give a quarter for that.
But it was Spider-Man. You know, it's got to be good.
Or the Grizzly Bear, you know.
Oh yeah, he's right up there with the Gibbon. Gibbon.
When you could have all these cool guys. You know?
Yeah.
Well, show me something, would you?
Sure. We got.
These people are tired of hearing me just yak.
No, it's enjoyable. We talking about. Got. I don't know if I showed this before or not. This was in my reading pile because I haven't read it in a while. Tales of Suspense 37. 2 issues from the big boy. And Space War number 1 from October of 59. Kind of mundane cover for a first issue, but then again, it's Charlton, and they did whatever they wanted to do. But yeah, this is the first issue from 59.
I think they look good. I think they could like drop one of the word boxes.
Yeah, it's kind of busy. There's stuff at the bottom with the swimming pool. Yeah. But the ship's neat. It's just, I don't know.
Right. I agree.
Trade dress can, like you said, can be a little bit less than what we had on there. Strange Adventures 104. I don't know if I showed this before or not on one of our chats, but it was on my reading pile.
I don't remember it.
Okay. Yeah, it's a nice 1959 issue. Great. I love his helmet.
Is he related to Mindworm?
Yeah, I don't know. He probably wishes he was. So this is probably his only claim to fame was this one, The World of the Doomed Spaceman. Let's see here. We got.
Meyer wants the swimming pool.
Oh yeah, you could have won one. Giant contest, easy to win. Can you imagine some kid Mom, we just want a swimming pool. And they come there and start tearing the ground up to make a swimming pool. This is pretty cool. Introducing Lieutenant Steve Savage. So this must be his first appearance, which I didn't look up. This is 112 of Men of War. Got a pretty cool.
Yeah, that is good.
Of a balloon buster coming in there, taking care of business. It's talking about having different issues. We've got combat with awesome USS Stevens story, DD 479, by great Sam Glasman, who didn't know served on the Stevens in real life and did a book about the Stevens and their foray into the war.
Yeah, I don't have that. The Dell Combat I have are all either paintings. Yeah, they're not photo covers. I was mistaken, but
yeah, this is a good Sam Glasman cover. But yeah, I try to get out the war stories with the Stevens stuff in it. Thought I had it handy, and I don't. Lieutenant Stevens book. Now this is an interesting book. Dialects for Hero, House of Mystery 160. Before Plastic Man got his new issue, that was one of the characters he turned into to give it a test run, I suppose, on the audience, the reading audience. Because you can't get enough of King Candy here at the bottom. That is with his licorice whip, the licorice lariat, rather. Yeah, House of Mystery with good old Plastic Man.
That's I guess you have to really want that. The King Candy.
Yeah. And that's a new hero. I'll wait till you get a taste of my licorice lariat. And he's got, and look at his crown. He's got lollipop for a crown. House of Mystery, 143. It's pretty beat up copy, but pretty nice nonetheless. It's our man Zook. The early appearance. I think it might be his first appearance. I don't know. 143.
I thought his first appearance was Detective Comics.
I'm talking about Zook.
Oh, okay.
The little alien.
Not the Manhunter. Okay.
Yeah, not the Manhunter. No, I wish I had that. Jeez. Speaking of Spider-Man, we got 135. Pretty much a nice high-grade copy. This is my childhood copy that I bought. Well, I should say childhood. I bought it in the late 70s as a back issue, but I've had it since then.
That's actually an inventive way to show many different scenes by using the spider legs to divide the frames.
Good call. That is very cool. Good call. And number 175 with the Hitman. So
you do like Spider-Man. You're just probably not.
I was more of a Punisher guy back when I was a kid. I thought he was cool. I thought he was a cool character. Before all the Punisher, this was like 77, 78 time frame. So I was buying all the Punisher stuff for $1. I bought 129 for 50 cents, and I traded it a while back. But yeah, I was more of a Punisher and the villains. If they had a cool villain in the book, like Mysterio, or if Moon Knight was in the book, I would get it. Something like that. Something supporting. Same thing with Green Lantern and Green Arrow. If they had a cool villain, I would get the book.
So this Wednesday night, we're going to be showing some ghosts.
Oh, yeah.
And I recently got a ghost, but I got the wrong one. And I'll show what I ordered. I ordered the one on the left, which is Ghost Stories number 7. What my comic shop sent me was number 27, which is an exact copy, cover and stories, of Ghost Stories number 7. You can see the big difference there. The price tag, the 12-cent cover is the number 7, and the 15-cent cover is number 27. But here's the little sticker. You guys are these horrible stickers that don't peel off very easily.
Oh yeah.
There's the number 7 that they told me it was, and so here it is listed, and it said this item is sold. That's because I clicked on it and bought it. And you see the 12-cent little price tag, but what they sent me was actually this. So, but I'm not complaining. I called them up and I told them what happened. I explained what I think they did, and I didn't want to give back the 27 because it looks really great. And once I get a book, it's kind of hard to let it slip back out of my fingers. So I said, "How about you just give me $1 or $2 for the next time?" And they said, "No, we're going to give you the full refund." So they did. It was about $7 or so, and I get to keep number 27. So
yeah, that was great.
But I don't have number 7, sadly. But but that's going to be one that we show come Wednesday night. So hope you all tune in and enjoy that. I don't know how effective these little plugs are going to be, but and I do have a little image prepared that I've worked on. I'll give you a hint. It has to do with Richie Rich Vault of Mystery. But it's not this one. But that was their line. They had 47 of these. And
I never knew this.
They all pretended to be a little scary, but they weren't that scary.
Okay.
And I decided, can I make it real scary? And so
nice.
I'll be showing that. So, and for those of you who don't know, I like to manipulate a few images. So feel free to check out this video, The Best of Graphic Man, where I kind of take highlights from past episodes. And so, great book. Yeah, the ghost stories. Yeah. Oh, I enjoy them. I think Dell covers, for Dell being what has an image of being squeaky clean, some of those ghost books, you were like, wow, they're really trying. Even in the late 60s, but they're saying, hey, we can do stuff like that. Of course, then later Gold Key comes in with Boris Karloff, and that's pretty spooky. So I think Dell just doesn't get much appreciation by the guys that are in the Amazing Fantasy 15 crowd.
Correct.
But
that's a good way of putting it. That's a very good way of putting it, because you're hitting the nail on the head, because they're regulated to a lesser tier of a collectible. You can't make money off of it. It's not worth $500 a pop. No one wants it. That's the mentality. And you hit the nail on the head. They're regulated to a much lower form of collecting, and it's sad because everyone will spend $2,000 to have a variant cover on a recent book. We've all seen it. But look at the covers that are on the Dell and Gold Key books compared to covers today. They blow them out of the water.
Yeah.
The Dell and Gold Key covers are phenomenal, well done, well rendered, high art, to me, covers compared to the direct that comes out now that people are paying $2,000 for, because it's a 1 of 25 cover, and it's crap.
Well, you use the word Drek. I stopped collecting in '93, and then I discovered this website one day, years later, called CGC. And they have a bulletin board, basically, where guys chat about, grades and stuff. But that was before I knew about YouTube and stuff like Captain Strangelove going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went in there under my name, Micah, had a little avatar of a dog with a toupee. And I just listened to these guys argue about slabbing books, which I didn't care to slab. Mm-hmm. And but every now and then they talk about a book and a problem, and I quickly work up a silly image based on what they're arguing about, and I'd post it. They'd get a little chuckle. Then they move on to arguing more and more and more. So I kind of floundered and wasted a lot of time. But these were guys that were talking about comics.
Yeah.
And I wanted to hang out with guys that talked about comics. So if I would have known, I would have came to YouTube. And can you hear that? I got an airplane going over here.
A little bit, but I can hear you. I can hear you louder than the airplane.
But no, those guys at CGC, they can't handle this. Even though I could look at stuff like this all day long, I think it's hilarious. Yeah. She's got amnesia, but what they can't handle is you can see there's a tape pull right there, and you show that to them. And I'm not talking about everybody, but there's a certain crowd of guys that they faint and they have the vapors and they can't handle that your book has a flaw. And
but the flaw can be on Amazing Fantasy 15. They don't care about that. There can be a tape pull on Amazing Fantasy 15. They're like, oh, who cares about the tape pull? It's Amazing Fantasy 15 and it's forgotten about, you know.
So and what a ridiculous. I love the ridiculousness of DC.
Oh, yeah.
You're coming in here at the orphanage, and you're thinking about adopting Supergirl. So that would be awkward, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your room. Breakfast is at 7.
Right. That's fun.
DC's a hoot. Let's see what else did I have. On next to that was a Boy Adventure. They moved around. Here is Black Orchid or Orchid. I'm mispronouncing it. This guy getting shoved out the window, and interesting. I don't know. Adventure was kind of a weird title.
You didn't know what you're going to get on Adventure from month to month. As I was reading, I remember picking up as a kid. That's when I liked the Vigilante. When he appeared in that comic, I was like, wow, this is a cool character. But you didn't know what you're going to get. The Spectre, Black Orchid, any other superhero you just didn't know. They changed a lot.
And her costume was mostly purple. I don't understand the Black Orchid part, but...
sounds sinister.
Yeah. What do we got going on? Yeah. Well, can you imagine like 11 years ago seeing me for the first time and I'm making a strange little character image and begging people to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't really do that. I know some guys do. Maybe you do. I always felt awkward. Like if I ask people to like and subscribe, does that mean that
they don't
I'm begging or so? I don't know. I know
what you mean.
If you don't like it, don't get out of here.
I look at it this way. If I got one subscriber, I was ecstatic. I was happy. I was like, wow, someone actually subscribed to my channel. And then everything else was just icing on the cake. I got like 500 something, but it was kind of like I got one and I was so happy, that actually someone to hear my, boring banter about my comic book collection,
I did get a subscriber yesterday.
Well, that's good.
I took the wife out garage sailing, and this guy had boxes of books, and it was all, of course, 90s. And by the way, you said the word Drek, and that reminded me of CGC. When I got back into looking at books, they had this term called 90s Drek.
Yeah.
And just hearing that, I realized I know exactly what they're talking about because it was in the 90s when I just got burnt out. And so it's sad that a phrase can mean something, but and I admit the covers that they're making now They look great, but I certainly don't trust to pick it up because the story inside won't be what I want. But anyway, this guy at the garage sale, he had a couple of boxes of 90s, and I'm thumbing through it, and I'm asking him, do you have any gold key? By asking that question, I can tell if he knows anything about gold key.
Yeah, good call.
If I'm supposed to have a further conversation with this guy, if he goes, I don't know what that is, then I just, well, have a nice day.
Yeah.
But he goes, no, not here, but I got some back at the house. And he starts talking about, we just picked up, I forget the title of it. It was number 10. It's the first appearance of Jonah Hex, America's Western Comics, All-Star West, or
also West.
Yeah, he says, I recently got that for $1. And so I mentioned I have the channel called Graphic Man. He told me his name, and by the time I got home, it's my latest subscriber right there.
Oh, that's cool. Back to play. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's a modern guy mostly or what, but
well, I mean, he's picking up gold key. If he knows what that is, that's a good sign.
Yeah,
you know,
Kevin. Early 90s.
The only thing I liked in the 90s that I really picked up religiously was anything Valiant. I loved Valiant comics. I was there from the beginning and, sadly to the end. And I love Valiant. I love the characters. I love the universe. But again, it was too much form over substance towards the end, like a lot of comic books in the 90s.
Now, I like Turok.
Mm-hmm.
I never picked up the Valiant Turok. Would I have liked them? Or
I think so. He's combined with the other universe, but it's the same character. He's just in a different universe. It's science. Some of it's science fiction. Some of it's mysticism. It all depends on what the storyline was.
Well, nice to have you aboard, Kevin. I'll remember to return the favor.
That's cool.
Yeah. Can you still find the link, Shannon, or do you want me to post it again? Just in case. I think I still have it at my I still had it at my clipboard. Well, Shannon will get on here and straighten us out.
Oh, yeah.
We certainly need. So in a stack of those adventures, I'm going to find Batman and the Outsiders.
Oh, I love that series. That's another bound series I'm going to get. Yeah. Very cool.
And of course, the art was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, Batman's really telling them off,
Yeah. Yeah, that was the DC shtick back then. I'm leaving this team. I'm joining this team.
Okay. They have Superman, Wonder Woman, the Elongated Man, Flash, Green Lantern, but Batman says you're just a 2-bit Justice League. And I got these guys,
I know.
They're top notch, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see
That's a good point.
And then, of course, it didn't take the Outsiders long to have a crossover with the Teen Titans.
Yeah.
And great. I need to get new bags for these. There's some pretty neat stuff going on in the 80s for DC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this cover it's a very basic poster cover, but typical the Batman look of the 1980s there.
Oh yeah, I love it. Jim Aparo, classic stuff.
I think I've caught up on all the chat. So we'll have Shannon join us shortly. You got anything else, Steve?
Yeah, got some Supervillain Team Up #2. I've not read this yet. I just got it maybe, I don't know, about 4 or 5 months ago. I just never read it yet. And again, one of my favorite characters, the Shroud, makes his appearance in that series. I think #5 is where he appears. And a nice copy of Shazam #11. Well, I hate calling him Shazam, Captain Marvel, but nice issue from '74. Shazam #29. I'm jumping all over the place here. I know I have more, but this is in this particular box. Pretty nice copy.
Now, I wonder, at the top of the logo there, I wonder, because DC put that little TV screen,
Yes.
I wonder if that kind of hurt them, because that kind of like clued in the other fans. You don't have to really treat this as part of the DC universe. This is just that TV stuff like ISIS and all that jazz over there. I don't know if that hurt them or not, but
good point, though. That's a very good point.
I don't know how great a point it is, but
no, but I mean, you got to think about that, though. It's a different thing because he's associated with ISIS. They both are on the morning TV shows. You know, why would you think that? You know, think that it could be a comic book when it could with ISIS now, you know? And this is a DC TV comic, which might solidify with what you're saying. This logo says that. I never noticed that before. DC TV comic.
Yeah.
You know? And this does the same thing, and I love this cover. Hey, Shannon, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Steve. Hey, Micah. How's it going, guys?
Doing well.
Good. Oh, I love those.
Yeah, these are great stuff. And
So, Steve, can you show that? Can you show that one again?
Sure.
So 5 tons is falling on his head, but that wooden chair can handle that he's sitting.
Wow, that's some chair. It's certainly not IKEA. That's funny.
You really don't notice that stuff when you're 12 and 13 years old. You just think it's cool.
Well, I'm a big guy, and if I go to your house and I sit in your chair, I can test if it's going to be good or not.
This is number 32.
Great baseball cover. Wow.
Yeah, it is. It's phenomenal. Nice shape, too. Mr. Mind is here, and I love him. All right. See what Shannon's got going on.
Man, I don't have anything pulled, but you want to look something. I got everything kind of semi-handy behind me, so.
We'll take a look at box 3, row 4.
It's not that handy. Let's see. I think I can pull out a box that's got some Go Key and Dale and other eclectic stuff in it.
We are your audience. Yeah.
So you guys throwing out some Dale and Go Key stuff. Yeah, it's in one of those drawer boxes. So, let's see. Here's some stuff. I know you're going to do your ghost stream on Wednesday, so that's kind of handy. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I like this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sweet.
That is really cool.
And even more ghosts. I think this is Frank Springer doing the covers on some of these. Is that right?
Go along with Frank Springer.
Yeah.
Love Frank Springer.
There's some Outer Limits.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, these are ones that I had actually laying on top of a box and I hadn't had time to file them away. Goes along with your dinosaur stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Very cool. That's great covers.
Yeah, I really love this cover.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Yeah, I wasn't smart when I bagged these up, or when I rebagged them, I didn't put the numbers on the back or anything. So I'm sure you guys would probably know more about it than I would.
No, I would get confused on gold key numbering. I couldn't tell you an issue unless I have it written down.
Yeah, that would be me. I think this is in the first 10 of this series. I always love this cover.
That's the same Dr. Spectre that backed up in Solar, right?
I'm not sure about that one, Steve.
Okay.
Could be, yeah. And a couple more Dr. Spectre.
Creepy.
I mean, I always read all my books, but a lot of these I would just buy for the covers alone.
Whoa.
That's neat.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, they're so bizarre that's why I open them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of Night Gallery. You ever remember Night Gallery? The TV
Yeah.
show? Those covers
Oh, yeah.
on those Dell and Gold Key books, particularly in the 70s, remind me of Night Gallery covers. And they would just freak me out as a kid. I had to read what was inside. Sometimes it took my money before a Marvel book would, because the cover was so intriguing.
Yeah, I think everything probably took my money before Marvel, because I was really like a DC guy.
Yeah.
And, of course, I read before that it was whatever I could find. It was Archie or Harvey or Gokey or Charlton, or, did a lot of trading back and forth with my cousins. So,
earlier I talked about binding some books, but looks like Superboy's already bound a couple of his adventures. Look at this book.
oh yeah,
a nice segue.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
I think he's got them trimmed though. I don't trim mine.
Pagers. I was on a quest for about 40 years, and I finally completed all those.
Really?
Yeah.
You have all the 100 pages, huh? That's awesome.
There are some guys, like when I hung around those CGC guys, there are some guys that they want all the 100 pagers. They want all the 80-page giants, like a little subset.
Yeah.
I don't know if they box them that way. But like when I told you I had Scalp Hunter, then I got that Brave and Bold with Scalp Hunter, that I kept thinking I need to put this with my Scalp Hunters. It comes from that mapping mentality when you bind them, which probably messes with me. And it makes it harder to find things later because you've got them all grouped. Like right now, I'm staring at a box of Sergeant Fury that I know I have Nick Fury with Sergeant Fury because this is the same guy.
Yeah, I did have all the 100 pagers all boxed together, and then after a while I was like, okay, well, I want to reintegrate them back in their normal titles. Of course, there is the 100-page spectacular title.
You are right.
Like 22 issues, whatever, and then there was like some issues, like I guess woven into like the regular series that were part of that too. So you had like 4 through 6, and then 7 through 14 were like of that character's title, and then from like 15 to 22 it went back to like the whatever character they were spotlighting at that time, and the reprints and everything. So
I can't remember, were any of the 100 pagers renumbered differently, or were they carry on the same? All the 100 pages carry the same numbering.
Yeah, that's just what I'm saying. The 4 through 6 was like just of that title, and then like from 7 through 14 was like number 7 would be like Superman 245, and number 8 would be like Batman 238. Yeah,
that's right.
And then I think it went from like 7 through 14. It was like that. It was kind of woven into the titles, and then from 15 on to the end, it was just like the regular book again.
Right. Okay.
This one was called DC Spectacular DC-21.
Yeah, that was the next to last issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he remembers that. Wow.
By the way, here's the back cover.
Yeah, that's one thing I liked about those two. They had the reprints of the covers on it.
Yeah, that Kid Eternity is awesome.
I love Kid Eternity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the first. Is that a reprint of the first Teen Titans or like one of the early ones?
Yeah, I think it's the first Teen Titans. I think.
Well, I don't know the number, and I can't see it. My eyes
was the Showcase of Brave and Bold was like the first appearance.
Mm-hmm.
This is Brave and Bold.
Okay, yeah.
That's the Brave and Bold. And I thought you were talking to Legion. You were talking Teen Titans. So I started looking for the number. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's another one of those little confusing things because it started with issue number 4, and there's all kinds of theories about what 1 through 3 were. It was like they did 2 or 3 giants and then they stopped it, or it was supposed to be woven into another title. I mean, it's like a conspiracy theory. I don't think anybody really knows. I just enjoyed them,
Yeah. That's great. You got the collection. That's pretty tough, particularly the romance books, right?
Yeah, those last few were like the toughest. Well, actually, they kept talking about the toughest one would be like number 5, like the love stories, like the second one they made. And actually, I got that one pretty early on.
Okay.
And that was about the time that the romance stuff just started going through the roof several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a really good deal on one, but some of the later, I think the last ones that I needed to get were like, there was a couple of romance books, and I think one of the Tarzan 100-pagers, and I think those were just maybe one of the mystery titles. It was either Unexpected or House of Mystery. Yeah, I was probably 7 or 8 years ago, maybe.
Wow.
That. Yeah,
that's very cool.
Because that's the thing that got me into comics. I mean, from the time I could read till I was like 10, 11 years old, it was, everybody had comics or funny books,
Yeah.
And you go to your cousin's house and they'd be laying all over the place. You go to your aunt and uncle's and they'd be in those little wicker baskets next to a chair, next to Woman's Day and Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
And, I just read anything that was there. I mean, I was just voracious,
Right.
And I think I was like 11 years old. And I've told this story on a couple of videos, but I had to have some oral surgery. I had to have some teeth pulled. I had to have some cysts cut out. So I was pretty much going to be laid up for about a week, with my mouth sewed up, drinking 7-Up and eating Jell-O.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom and dad, like, you want us to pick you up anything? I said, yeah, you can get me some funny books. So they got me a Justice League of America 114 and a Superboy and Legion 205. And both those were 100 pages, and I think the other one was either, and I wish I still had it. I can't remember. It was either a Woody Woodpecker or a Pink Panther, which I love both those characters. But I was trying to go back and find out what was on sale that month with those books, just so I could get them, just buy them both and say, okay, these are the first 3 comics that really got me into collecting,
Right.
And after that, I was down the rabbit hole. So
yeah, like all of us, right?
Yeah.
It's always that special time. Either you're sick, or you're going on vacation, or you go to someone's house and you discover the comics. It's always probably one or 3 of those scenarios that happens. Vacation, you're sick, or a friend turns you on to comics. It's one of those stories they get you going, and it could be anything. I mean, it could have been. I mean, for me, it was Smokey from Dell. Comic book about a horse, and ever since then I remember just liking comics.
Smokey? Did you say Smokey or Stormy?
Smokey.
Smokey. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard of that one. I thought you were going to say Smokey the Bear, and I said, oh, I remember that. They gave that comic out in school. The life story of Smokey the Bear.
Yeah.
I've got a copy of that.
Yeah, good old Smokey. No, this Smokey was a horse. I think it was Della Gold Key. I think it might have been Gold Key put it out. But I have a piece of the artwork on my wall from that book. I was actually
cool.
Score a piece of artwork from that particular issue that I saw at the barbershop with my grandfather. But yeah, that's it got me going. I read and read and read. I didn't collect until the 70s, but read all the time. You know, that's just like you, Shannon. I just nonstop. If it had 4 colors in it, I was all over it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I must have been like 6 years old. I met at my grandmother's house, and she's having a garage sale, and I really want to go to the gas station and get a soda pop and candy bar, but I didn't have any money. And my grandmother said, "You should sell some of those comics you got here." And I thought, well, I guess I could. So I gathered up some and I put them out for sale. Really good deals, guys. And I must be 6 years old. And some guy, he must have been in his mid-30s. He came up, looked through them. He took all of them, gave me the money, and he left. And so I was happy. I had the money in my hand. I got enough to get a Dr. Pepper and a candy bar. This is great. But then I realized, why did that guy want my books?
Yeah.
Because when you're 6 years old, you think only 6-year-olds like this. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
And then I got to thinking, did I just make a huge mistake? And now, well past 30, and you go, oh, I wish I'd have held on to those. I don't even remember what I had, but and the times have changed. I can't go to a garage sale now and find some kid selling all his Gold Key,
right?
Back in the early 70s, at like 10 cents each.
Yeah.
What a deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's then you wonder what you had. You kick yourself. You're kind of like, I don't know. I mean, you're not gonna lose sleep over it, but you kind of think back and what did I have in that stack? Why did he want the books all of a sudden?
Yeah. So also in that stack of eclectic goodness was a couple of annuals. I need to file away with my Conan.
Nice.
Conan number 4.
Oh yeah, nice.
The annual, I mean.
Right.
And
number 4, that's my favorite Conan story.
These bags aren't that great. So here is annual number 5. So,
cool.
It's your wedding night. You realize what you just married. Well, he's about to realize what he just married. So,
yeah, my wife is just a beast.
Paulo.
Hello, Paulo.
Oh, here's one. I guess it's like 100-pager.
Oh, Tubby. Yeah.
Oh, Tubby.
Yeah, 1956. Yeah.
Love Del Giants.
Yeah. I'm not even sure where I picked that up at. Yeah.
That's a great idea Tubby has there.
Yeah, right.
As long as that branch will hold.
Yeah. I think his help looks a little sketchy,
Yeah. Not doing too much there, are they?
So these days I try to get back everything that I think I might have sold at that
there you go.
That's garage sale.
That's very cool.
So like Tubby trying to paint that roof, Huckleberry swinging in to help himself to his strawberry soda.
That's very cool. What's the name of that duck? Oh, I can't remember his name.
Little Quacker.
Yeah.
Little Quacker, yeah.
One time they had a cartoon of Little Quacker, and I guess he's sick in bed, and somebody's giving him a glass of water. And he is chugging. About 20 seconds go by, and you know he has drank more water than that little glass can hold. And the person takes the cup away, and he goes, more. And then they put it
back. Yeah, I was speaking of cartoons. I was just surfing around, and I was on HBO Max, and I saw they had the like the Jetsons on there, like the complete Jetsons. Of course, that was one of my favorites, Jetsons and Flintstones, and but I couldn't remember, what episode was what, and I watched like the first 2 episodes, and like the second episode was like an Elvis guy, and like Judy, the daughter, was all crazy about him, and
yeah,
and, he was singing that song, and I remember it's like "Eep Op Ork Ah." You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And what got me about that was the guy that was doing the voiceover. I was like, wait a minute, I know that voice, and it was Howard Morris, the guy that played Ernest T. Bass on Andy Griffith.
Yeah,
and I was like, of course, I'm all about Andy Griffith anyway. But that's very cool, and and I knew he had done voiceovers, but I forgot about that one. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I forgot about that song, but you say it's in my head now. I can't get it out.
Yeah. Go look that episode up, man. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Speaking of Andy Griffith, do you guys have Andy Griffith comics? I think there was like 2 of them.
No.
Yeah. Well, I wish I did. Yeah. I know.
They're photo covers, right?
I think so. I think they even have Aunt B on there, a little bitty brown picture. Okay. I could be remembering it wrong, but I think it's Andy and Opie. I saw Peanuts. I'm a big fan. Show me that.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
That might be the first Go Key Peanuts. I'm not sure.
Wow, that's a nice one. I think you're right.
Yeah, the cover.
Actually,
the cover's from the Dell, but yeah, they reprinted it nicely.
I've actually got like a hardback that reprints all the Dell and Go Key Peanuts stuff. I'm not sure where it's at, but
you can now get that from Guadalajara too.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's there somewhere. I got like a whole shelf full of Peanut stuff. Don't have it handy though. So,
do you have the one where they're playing baseball inside a living room, and they're using the fireplace as the backstop? You know exactly what I'm talking about, Steve. Yeah.
Is that from the comic book series or like one of the strips?
It was one of the covers on the Dell.
Oh, okay. I don't have that one, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's a little girl. She's at bat. I think Charlie Brown's the catcher, and you don't see the pitcher, whoever that is, on the shot. But that's a great little Peanuts.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be playing baseball indoors.
They got it all. They got it all worked out, though. Speaking of, you mentioned Guadalajara. I looked them up, and I was like, I'm sorry I did, man. I know my money's going to be going to all, because they did Smiling Jack. I didn't know they reprinted Smiling Jack. And I'm just ecstatic that this place exists. You guys talk about them. I never did actually check them out until the other day. And I'm impressed by what they put out.
I've held off on getting the Lone Ranger. Of course, he has to call him the Masked Man because he can't use the title. But he recently discovered that he was about 12 pages shy of reprinting one of the books. He thought it was a 36-pager. Apparently, it turned out to be like 48 or something. And so now he has reworked his little PDF that they print from.
Okay.
And so now if you buy the Masked Man series, Lone Ranger, you can get them all.
Okay.
The Dells. So I might now give that a shot. But I'd have to have color. I wouldn't want just black and white because.
Yeah, I saw Gratu talking about those on a stream. It's been a while back, and I was like, man, I think I looked it up on Amazon a couple times, and that stuff looked pretty good. Now, is that like a lot of that public domain stuff, or is it?
It has to be, yeah.
Yeah.
And amazingly, there was like a 2-year period where Archie Comics, they fouled up and didn't put a copyright at the bottom, the indicia. So he can even print some of those. but he's limited to like a certain time period.
Right.
Interesting.
You have to have an actual legal copyright, or you have to catch your mistake and put out extra issues correcting the mistake. And if you can figure out that they didn't do that and they didn't realize this for about a year and a half or so, so somebody tipped him off, and then he looked into it and found out he could print those. So,
well, that's cool.
Interesting.
Here's a couple more to go keys.
Oh,
wow.
there's your 8 ones. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've probably got 3 or 4 of these. I think maybe 2 of them still have the poster.
Good.
The 8 protest poster where they were all like laying down and didn't want them to go to war and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And
for one of my
anybody remember
thumbnails,
this?
one of my
Anybody remember this
thumbnails, I
TV show?
used it. Oh, the Girl from Uncle. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the first issue. Yeah.
Was that the only 8 book they put out? Gold Key?
Yeah, I mean that was the first Planet of the Apes comic adaptation that they ever made.
Okay.
Well, if you don't count, like, I think there may be some people in Venezuela or somewhere did one, but yeah, that's the first apes they did until Marvel started doing the black and white magazine.
Okay.
And what I thought was cool about that, I mean, even if you've seen the movies umpteen times or whatever, those stories were adapted like from the original scripts before the movies came out, before they were altered or anything. So it's a little bit different. So that, and just to me, that makes it kind of cool because you've got 2 different versions,
Understood. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do like an ape show, but it's going to take a while to get that one together.
You got so much stuff, right?
Yeah, it's just, the thing of it is, I got very few older pieces, like the originals, like the Migos. I got like a couple Migos, and I got an old coffee cup, and I got the trash can, but that's about it. And all the other stuff is like from the last 20 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any of the soundtracks?
I do actually. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, this is actually, I don't think this was actually sold. It was just like a promotional copy.
Okay.
I don't know if they were like sold wholesale or what, but it's got that little sticker. It says, promo record, 44 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's got all the great stuff on the back.
Yeah.
I was actually playing that just the other day, and I think I've got the like the first movie soundtrack on CD, and I think the Escape soundtrack maybe on CD.
Nice.
Yeah, I was looking at the original Planet of the Apes soundtrack on LP, and it was like outrageous. So I was like, okay,
Right.
I'll get the CD.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when DVDs were coming out, and they released Planet of the Apes on DVD, and so I got it. And then I found a little option on there. You could listen to it in French. It's the whole movie,
Yeah.
but then there's French voice actors doing, Charlton Heston's voice and the apes' voices, and kind of comical and wild. But
Yeah, I remember that. I might actually have that, and I'm like, why? And I was like, well, and then a lot of people don't realize that Pierre Boulle was like the guy that wrote Planet of the Apes. He was a Frenchman,
Mm-hmm.
So I found one of the original first printing novels in French on eBay, and it was like $1,800 or something.
Wow.
So okay, my collecting isn't that crazy.
Yeah, right? Yes.
well, Steve, you got anything else to show me? Or
I got some that's what we got here. This came up, giant size annual 4, Spider-Man and Punisher. Nice copy.
Oh yeah.
I like to trade this at some point though. I got to trade a couple of my Spider-Man Punisher books. Or,
Yeah, I just seen the Paolo pop up. Is that the Planète des Signes? He's like the French. Yeah.
yeah.
That just translates into Monkey Planet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Here's a House of Secrets, number 66. A nice early appearance of Eclipso with a cool date stamp at the top.
Oh, yeah.
There's a date stamp. There it is.
So, Steve, have you been watching any of the new Stargirl episodes with Eclipso in them?
No, I've heard. I watched the first series you told me about. I got it on DVD. I heard he's a little boy. He's creepy, I hear. Is that true?
Yeah, but you get to see him like in full costume and everything, and it looks pretty cool.
And everything?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love Eclipse. I'm going to try to find his first appearance in Baltimore. That's one of my key goals, to find his first appearance.
Oh yeah, that one's a high dollar.
Yeah. I'm looking around $300 for a mid grade. I'll be happy with that. That's what That's what I'm hoping for. There's Undersea Agent number 2 from our beloved Tower Run.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah. I think I've got one of those.
And which this cover, it just cracks me up. This whole thing in the middle. Thunder Agents number 19. I think they just could have done better with that.
No ads.
Big thing in the middle. Yeah.
No ads, all action, but plenty of word balloons.
Yes. Yeah. And, Strange Adventures with the Dead Man 209. And Strange Adventures 211, which I think it's hard to get with this white to be so clean. I was pretty happy to have this copy.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, they're hard to get with that guy being. And got them all over the place here today. Unknown Worlds, number 48, from ACG.
I love those.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, they're so inexpensive. You get a lot of cool stuff for what you pay.
Why,
yeah,
Steve,
I never
that was
those are so cheap.
That was a ghost. That was a ghost cover.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the pre-show for Wednesday night. Got Young Love number 84, which is in my reading pile, believe it or not. Gotta check it out.
Oh, I'd read it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't have a lot of romance. Most of my romance are Charlton's. I've got a few DC romance books. Last but not least, for right now, we've got My Greatest Adventure number 66. Guy changes his other dude into a robot and is on trial for that. Such a great sci-fi cover.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
DC had some wild stuff, man.
Yeah.
That was just awesome.
Yeah. I love the stuff with the gorillas. The one where the gorilla is taking out all the library books.
Yes.
I want the comic. You have to get hold of it. I want that book. So I know you guys probably have it.
No.
I think I got the reprint. It's either like in a later issue of Strange Adventures or From Beyond the Unknown.
Okay.
Yeah, where he's taking the light. Yeah, I've got the reprint, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I love that cover. I love that cover. Yeah.
What else you got, Micah?
I ran through what I had, and all I have are piles of Web of Spider-Man, and nobody wants to see that junk. So,
No, I liked a lot of that series.
I mean, red versus black costume. Yeah, no one. Yeah. No one cares. Oh, I'm surrounded.
What you like, man? You know,
I would just have to get up and start digging stuff out. But
I found some Tower stuff.
Oh yeah.
Another oddball.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great book.
Yeah. And, I think this is some more Gil Kane goodness.
Oh yeah. They brought him back in the 80s to the 90s, different times, and they were just as good, I thought.
Yeah. The deluxe comics came out with that. I've got probably 2 or 3 copies of every issue. But you got all these great artists in that. You got George Perez and Dave Cockrum and Keith. I mean, just just a who's who.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love those, but they're really great stories. I think George Perez did the Raven stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, Keith Giffen did the Lightning.
Yeah, those are really good.
He was aging every time he used his powers. And
Yeah, exactly. That's good stuff.
Honed in on that aspect of him.
Yeah. There's some Tippy Teen.
Sweet.
Yeah, this was done by one of probably my favorite Archie artists, Sam Schwartz. He's the one that got so famous for doing the Jughead for Archie comics.
Okay.
Yeah. And here's some more Thunder Agents.
Oh, I love that cover. It's such a hard cover to get in nice condition because that black cover.
Yeah, mine's not too bad. It's probably graded a fine or better, but it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Here's another Tippy Teen.
Nice.
Yeah, the thing about all these were like the square bound issues, and it's got a store stamp on her. I really like that.
Yeah.
Casey's books.
Oh, that stuff.
Here's some Undersea Agent. I don't know if you guys showed that.
Yep. Yeah. Great monster.
And got a few Skywald books. You guys collecting Skywald?
Yep.
If it's Nightmare, yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I got the Western one too. What's the Western one? What's Cassie's
somewhere here.
Sundance Kid or something like that.
Oh, here we go. Bravados.
There you go. Yeah, that's cool.
And who could forget the Heap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why aren't there more? Why aren't there more of the Heap?
I don't know. I mean, technically, he was like the first swamp monster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, these are hard to track down. There was only 4 issues, and I got number 4. The others are I've not seen them out in the wild, and you can hardly ever find them online.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love the title too, Tender.
Yeah, Tender.
Here's some St. John stuff. Joe Kubert.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah. I love Tor. Yeah, I probably like that stuff better than I do Tarzan.
Wow, I think they put out an artist edition of Tor. I think the big.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah, IDW. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should have told me that. We'll have to have it now. One of the few Golden Age books.
Okay. Can't go wrong with Wiz Comics.
Yeah. And you were talking about ACG.
Ooh, I never saw that one issue before. That's a nice ghost cover. Is that a ghost?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like a World War II ghost shooting up some Civil War guys.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's about all I got in that stack.
Talking about some rare, not really rare, but hard to find, Vicky from Atlas.
Yeah. I think I've got 1 or 2 of them. I've got that one.
I got 1, 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's 3. And see, 3 and 4 weren't square bound. They were regular size comics.
Right.
The other two were square bound.
Oh yeah. Did it take you a while to track all those down?
Oh yeah, a guy actually had all 4 issues together.
Oh man.
I traded him, got him back. He wanted them back, so I traded him back again. He still had them at Baltimore show in 2018. He still had all 4 for sale again, and I bought him back from him again. So I got it changed hands 3 times.
So you were just meant to have those books.
Yeah, that's what I said. And again, that was the only thing I'm missing to complete the Atlas run. The comic books, not the magazines.
Right.
Was these Vickies. That was it. And I had them all. So I had to do it. They came back.
Yeah, I've got like a short list to complete on the Atlas stuff, but like 2 or 3 of the Vicky issues and all the magazines, like the Gothic Romance or what was it?
Yeah.
Those are like impossible. And what was the other one? Hell Rider?
Hell Rider. I got issue 1 of Hell Rider, but not 2.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I got issue 1. I got it for $40, believe it or not. It was a trade. And I was very happy with the Hell Rider. Yeah. Number 2 is Hen's Teeth, man.
Yeah. Well, now that was that pre-Ghost Rider?
I don't know. I don't know for sure.
I think I might have read somewhere that was like pre-Ghost Rider or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
But yeah, it's a great book to have. It's just so hard to get a hold of.
Yeah. That's why you have to look for it.
Yeah, and I'm going to Baltimore end of the month, and I got my little wish list. I'm gonna try and stick to it. But when I see books like that, my money's gone. I'm like, I'm going to pay for it. I don't care. I shouldn't say I don't care how much it is, but I usually will try and pay. I try, finagle a deal, but I usually don't argue because it's usually a good, fair price for what that book is, But yeah, that stepping into that minefield is going to be rough if I see that book.
Sure.
Compared to what I want to get on my want list.
Yeah, I've just because of work and whatever else, I haven't got to go to any shows this year, but I'm going to go to one next month in Gallatin, Tennessee.
Okay, that's nice.
And it's just a little small show. I think the admission's like $5, but there's going to be like 35 dealers.
That's it, man. You need dealers.
That's all I need. I think the only celebrities I saw was Jerry Mathers and Tony Dow from Leave It to Beaver, and I was like, okay, it'll be nice to go by and just kind of wave at them, but where are the dealers,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a 3-hour drive for me, but that's no big deal. So
right.
I think I don't know if any of you guys know the name Tartan Phantom. He shows up in the comments sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My buddy Rob, he lives in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I think he's going to meet me up there. Maybe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think Eric Kate was thinking about it too. I think he might drive up from Georgia. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm going solo this year in Baltimore, so I'm hoping some YouTube people will be there. But it's kind of like you're lonely when you make that drive, but then once you get into the show, you're like, I'm among friends.
It's cool.
I'm among friends. Yeah.
Yeah. I would. That's one thing I told my wife. I said on a bucket list, I'm going to have to make carve out some time or just to take trips. Just to see YouTube friends and maybe hit a couple of shows. It's just like the thing to Tennessee. I think my son might be going, and my wife said something about it, so she's probably just going to drop us off, and she'll go hit the flea markets.
Oh yeah, yeah.
While you guys were talking, I looked up. Hell Rider was 1971.
Okay.
Ghost Rider is 73. So
there you go.
Hell Rider was first.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I never see Vicky.
Yeah. Who was the cover artist of that Hell Rider, Steve?
Oh man. There's a clean cover. I don't know.
Harry Rosenbaum.
You're kidding.
Well, that's what my comic shop says. So.
Wow. I love the cover. I'd never heard that name before.
Yeah, I was thinking it was Ken Barr. I was almost going to say Ken Barr, but
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking because there's like Ken Barham, Bob Larkin, and all those guys that did the magazine covers back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Earl Norman.
Yep. But I bet Roy Thomas thinks it was his idea. You're probably right, Paulo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very freaky.
The number 2 has got a funky cover. Do you know what number 2 looks like? He's on a tight wire. He's on electrical wire on his motorcycle. The rear tire is riding like a telephone line, and it's coming into
probably
crazy.
Yeah, I probably scanned through it and I couldn't remember. I remember the first cover really well. But.
Yeah, but that's a tough book, man. And that's what if I see that that's what takes some of my money. I know it. But
hey, Damien.
Hey, Damien.
Well, under the web of Spider-Man, I did have some of these Captain America where he was replaced. And not the best, but I really enjoyed the story where Steve Rogers has to kind of just be his own guy. And while this other guy was who becomes the U.S. Patriot, takes over for him, and Steve is the captain, not Captain America. So
that's right. I remember that. It was the captain and the U.S. agent. Yeah.
And it was about that time when Thor was in trouble and he can't get to his hammer, and Steve Rogers is able to pick it up. And he's the only mortal that's ever been able to pick up Thor's hammer. I'm sure since then they've probably added 35 more people that can do that.
Yeah, you're right. Take away the specialness of it. Yeah,
that's right. It was special back then.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I'm sure that they probably stole that scene from the comics for the Avengers movie.
Yeah, it shows them trying to pick it up a little bit and and I think Captain America was starting to get it to budge.
And then later.
Yeah, in the end game, he actually picked it up and busted Thanos in the chops with it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting because that's why that comic book went up so much. It was some Avengers or whatever it was where he picked up the hammer. It's like $40 or $50 book now, but no one cared about it before.
I think it's like Thor number 389 or 390 or something like that. So.
Yeah. Yep. That's funny on what us comic book fans glom onto, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Terrence. Yeah, it's like a lot of those scenes in the Avengers movie were like comic covers or panels. Like me and Hawkeye drawing back the bow and Ant-Man was on the end.
Yeah.
That cover.
Yeah.
Of course, that one was,
Yep.
And a bunch
and that
of others.
Everybody wants it. You know, you see it on the wall at conventions and stuff, you know.
He's in the chat. Meyer Greenblatt has the little figurine. Oh, it's about this big. And it's got Ant-Man on the arrow.
Oh, that's cool.
That Hawkeye. Cool. The mask for Hawkeye is great. I wish you wore that in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve's thinking, I got to have that statue now.
He showed it on one of Ratu's channels. I don't know if he showed it on one of his own videos, but
yeah.
You can ask him Wednesday.
You're talking about going to the show. That of course, when the Eternals movie is coming out, you know, the Eternals books have went up. So I got I love the series, but I got a couple extra copies. And number one, I might use for trade bait.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You get a good discount with that kind of stuff. That's great to do. You know, and I do the same thing. Like I got a couple books I may take just a trade. You know, I'm always paying cash. I never use a credit card or debit card. I've got my cash. That's all I use. I'll trade. You know, how much, you know, knock off this for this and this. And people love doing that. You know, the dealers love it, you know. Yep, that's a good idea.
Yep.
Yeah, because I went to my comic book shop the other day, and he had 300, I think, on Eternals 1.
Was it
Wouldn't even
slab?
grade. No.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, I'll definitely be taking a couple copies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'll find the Hell Rider book and we can talk turkey or something.
Yeah, exactly. Because no skin up your nose, you probably paid 50 cents, $1 for it, you know?
I tell you what, the bulk of my Marvel Bronze Age stuff, like I say, I was a DC guy, and I started reading DC probably since I could read, and then I became a collector of, like, I don't know, 73 or 74, whenever that was. And I really didn't get into the only Marvel stuff that I read were like the monster reprints.
Right.
And then later on, I think my sister, they were like selling magazine subscriptions or something at school, and I saw they had comics, so I like subscribed to Fantastic Four and Avengers, and then I got hooked on most of the Marvel stuff later on, like late 70s. So yeah, Damien bought his. Yeah, I think, like I say, most of the Marvel Bronze Age I bought like in bulk lots, like from J&S Comics, out of the Buyer's Guide.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I just went crazy in the 90s, you know, because I had a little bit of, you know, spendable income. So yeah, I got like the Kirby New Gods. I got like the whole set in high grade for like $40.
Yeah, yeah.
With Eternals, I think I got the whole run for probably 15 or 20. That's, you know. So.
Yeah, because cause back then in the 90s, no one cared about the Bronze Age. It was all about the modern books. It was all about Image, Valiant, and whatever indie book came out. That's what they cared about. The Bronze Age was back burner. Now it's the forefront. You know.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go into the comic shop and look in the 50 cent and dollar boxes, and you'd have like old issues of Action Comics and Detective and you know, all that stuff. And I just kind of, you know.
Well, the guys that were nostalgic about Batman #1 are not really walking the earth anymore.
Correct. Good point.
So the guys that are nostalgic about 1969, 1970, 71, those are the guys that are starting to remember, hey, I wish I had all that.
Right.
And that's why I'm trying to get as many gold key as I can before everything is out of reach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my plan is if I find any dealers that's got that stuff, I'm setting aside a little chunk of money for Go Key and Dell, and you know, some of them. And I'm not even going to call Charlton esoteric anymore, because Charlton is like one of the main ones to me. So
yeah.
And I know Steve agrees with that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm in love with that, and that's my #1 book right now. Space Adventures 33. That is what I'm going after. That's my main focus this show. Hopefully, I can get a nice mid-grade copy. I'll take a very good copy, but I could get a mid-grade one. But we'll see. We'll see. It's so astronomical right now, and I got some books. I'll see if they'll make a trade and some cash, and we'll see. But that's as far as Charlton goes, that's my big one. And Zoo Funny's #1.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been paying more attention to the old sci-fi and horror stuff, and I would love to find a Strange Adventures #9. You know, first Captain Comet. Decent price. It'd probably be around the same range as the Captain Atom book.
Yeah.
Now, Steve, when I had you on the very first time, way back when, you showed me some books, and they were in slabs.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the guy's name, but I remember you showing me a cover, and the title character is this little guy here in a little box.
Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket, yeah. And you were gonna, once you completed the run, you were gonna break all those out.
Yeah. And once I get them all, I'm gonna complete them.
Have you added to that run?
No, I have not. Thank you for asking. No, I haven't. I saw one copy at a show maybe about 4 months ago, but it was trimmed, and you could tell big time on the top, and it bugged me. So I didn't pay. It wasn't that much. I mean, for what they go for, it wasn't that much. But I was going to pay that kind of money when I can buy an untrimmed one for just as much. So I didn't. But no, thanks for asking that. No, I've not added to that at all. I'd love to, though.
So when's this convention again?
22, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24th of October, Baltimore.
Okay.
Big show. It's strictly comics, artists, writers, editors, tons of vendors. Love this show. I save up my money all year just to go to the show. And of course, last year it didn't happen because of the COVID situation. I don't know if y'all aware of that or not, but
No,
that was
hadn't heard.
yeah, that was a big snafu on that one. And even this Baltimore, they're making you wear masks while you're on the show floor, and you got to show that you've been vaccinated. So that's going to take, I think, a lot of people off the list of crowd-wise. I don't know, but I'm assuming that. I got the VIP package, which lets you into the show early, all 3 days. You get the hardback yearbook, T-shirt, a tumbler, a limited edition print, and a $40 voucher to spend at the booth to promote the company. You get all that. I mean, it's $165, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's $35 each day to get in, and so you're making out because you get all the extra stuff and get in early and everything else. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Are you guys looking for anything on your radar that I can look for you guys to pick up that you guys? I know. It's like, are you serious, Steve? Are you asking me this question right now?
Hold on a second. I want to show you something that's going to make you laugh. Okay, where I work at the distillery, they gave everybody one of these, like a little notebook, like a little journal, whatever. Well, this is my want list. So,
Oh wow.
So
yeah, I do the same. Yeah.
There's some stuff that I have highlighted with a yellow marker as like priority, and like, okay, if I can't find this, then it's like when you used to order from those old mail order catalogs, list alternates.
Yes. Yes. I should have prefaced it to say, is there anything you chomp at the bit that you guys are looking for that you guys can't find? That can maybe score for you guys while I'm at the show. If you can't, if you think email me or text me or send me through Instagram or whatever, let me know, because I can look for it for you. I have no problem doing that.
Yeah, I might do that, Steve. There's might be like some Submariner issues.
Okay.
I think I need about 8 to complete that.
Oh yeah. Just send him through Instagram or something. DM me and I'll have it.
Yeah.
That's Augie Doggy.
Oh, there you go.
That's the back cover.
That's awesome.
I'm always looking for that. And don't worry, I do find it often. I just I'm never ready to just buy it.
Right.
And my comic shop has it, but I always find something else. But
yeah,
that's one I always put off.
To mail order, if you don't have like multiple books, why order one book? You're like, maybe I'll order this later, or maybe I'll buy it with a bunch of others. It's like you got to figure out what you want to do, and it's usually with one book. You're not going to order one book. You're going to order multiple books, save on that shipping and make the order worthwhile. But seriously, DM me through Instagram if you guys want, or email me, whatever. If you got something in your head, let me know.
Yeah, there probably be much, but I might there might be a few.
Okay.
If you find a deal, I mean, I'll PayPal you real quick or whatever.
Oh no! Don't worry about that. We'll worry about that at some other point.
Shannon's got a little bit of room on the top left there. He could still. He could still the other side. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
There's
a little.
Is that your comic room?
Here. Yeah.
You're in your comic room now, right, Shannon?
Right.
Now that display case, is that somewhere around you? That book. I'm just curious how you get your stuff set up. I don't want
It's a little bit of everything.
Okay, I got you. Okay,
Yeah.
there it is. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything in here. A lot of this stuff down on the bottom is just peanuts and paperbacks and
Okay.
just a little bit of everything.
The ghost. Those are tough ghosts.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just some.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and trade. I'm gonna try and trade that.
There's Dagar.
There's Dagar. That's number 1, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, that alarming.
I think I showed this one on the Commandy stream we did, Micah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that had artwork in it showing a dog standing up wearing pants or something.
Right. It was like, that was kind of bugged me that Carmine Infantino took credit for creating Commandy. I'm like, no. Love stories.
Wow.
You guys remember these? Yeah, I know, right? The superhero catalogs. Yeah.
Yep. Joe Kubert doing Marvel characters.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a little bit of,
Okay, very cool display. I've always liked that.
Yeah, I told the story before. My mother-in-law actually was responsible for me getting that shelf.
Okay.
So, and my wife is responsible for, tolerating all this. So, no, she is really good. I mean, she's a sweetheart. She really,
yeah.
She likes watching me when I'll be trying to talk to her about comic books or something. She'll just kind of smile. Well, you should do that, or you should get that, or And I'm sure you got the same thing.
Yeah, I tell you, they didn't marry just us. They married a collection.
Exactly.
You guys ever go into like a pawn shop or something, and they've got this nice glass cabinet that inside are all the valuable stuff they've got kind of on display, but it's kind of locked up as well. I've always wanted one of those, and I thought one day I'll retire, I'll get one of those, and I'll just putter around, and I'll swap out every week. I'll put in new books.
Yeah.
Just change the display.
Yeah.
Probably the most boring thing in the world, but to me it would be like hog heaven.
Yeah.
We are all
rack for that.
Yeah, exactly. We are definitely all brothers from another mother.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
it's like
I can switch them out and play with them.
Yeah, the spinner rack is one thing. That's my holy grail.
Yeah,
find an original 70s spinner rack. And I know Dr. Silverage, Rod, he got his, and I was really happy for him. And and I think Alan from After Comics, he found one too.
Mm-hmm.
I think he actually drove maybe to West Virginia or Virginia from North Carolina to pick his up.
That's dedication. See,
that is dedication, man. I admire that.
Yeah. We could all do the same thing too. If I got a hitchhike, I'm making it there to get it.
Right. Yeah, but Mike, I'm with you. I've always wanted a glass case. I don't know where I would put it because I'm kind of at a premium for space. But just kind of switch stuff. That's kind of what I do on the display shelf. I'll switch out stuff and
Well, I go into antique stores and I'll see a bunch of them, and they got all kinds of stuff in there, and I'm just staring at them. And sometimes the owner of that particular booth will show up and goes, "Oh, you interested in anything I have in there?" And I hate to break it to him. Actually, no, I'm interested in the case itself, which is a polite way of saying, you got nothing in there but junk. I'm more interested in the case.
Yeah.
But of course, you don't say that.
My stuff in there.
Yeah. And it's never for sale. Oh, no, I couldn't part with that. They always tell me. So.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, I can't remember last time I've been in an old antique shop. I have found some good comics there, though. I found a couple of 100-pagers years ago, and like for $2. and there's something else. I think there's like some old. I found a couple old issues of Witching Hour with Neil Adams covers, and I was just over the moon. Yeah, $2 for a Neil Adams cover.
Oh
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you guys know I like Funny Animal, and there's this little town called Ozark, Missouri, and there's an antique store in there, and they've got an old comic before the Walt Disney Comics and Stories line. It was called Mickey Mouse Magazine. It's from like 1939.
Cool.
There's got a Donald Duck on the cover, and they want $64 for that.
64. Where do you get the?
I don't know. If you were going to grade it, it'd be a good plus. So maybe 2.5, or whatever the kids call it, 3. But I don't want to pull the trigger on that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of the oldest ones I've seen. So
yeah, the stuff that I could find in an antique store, the only comics I was lucky enough to ever get was DC first issue special number 8, First Defensive Warlord, high condition for like $5, which I was pretty happy with that. But other than that, I've had no luck in antique stores or anything when it comes to comic books. The first issue special. I think I misspoke.
I don't know why Shannon went sideways. Oh, I think we lost his signal. Maybe his battery's dying. I don't know what makes a phone do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Steve, this isn't it, but this is the style.
Okay.
So
yeah, you can tell.
That tells you how old.
Yeah.
And of course, not in this great condition. I think if it were that cover, I would have probably pulled the trigger.
Understood.
Because that's football, and what a great cover. But that's just a little bit before they started doing the Dell Walt Disney Comics and Stories. So
okay, very nice. Yeah, that's you can tell by just the gear alone and the artwork, how old that book is.
Well, I hate to pull the plug while Shannon has left because he might be trying to pop back in, but we've gone a little more than 2 hours. And,
yeah.
I don't want to wear out our welcome here. So
understood.
I have enjoyed it. I always enjoy talking to you and all the other fossils.
Well, I always enjoy the time.
It's great to see Shannon. And glad he could join us. So
yeah, it was great.
One day we'll devote our channels to building the perfect comic cabinets and be nothing but woodworking and tape measures and.
Oh yeah, have a construction crew in the back knocking on the wall. See what I'm doing here because of this channel.
Instead of this old house, it'd be this old comic man cave.
Yes,
that would be a show only for us.
Yeah, exactly. There would be that many people, but it'd be great.
Oh, the ratings would be terrible, but.
Yeah.
And we'd all bellyache when it's canceled,
Yeah, exactly.
That must be the Donald Duck there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll still call something like that gold just because.
Yeah.
But he's probably right.
Turn the century to me.
Yeah, he's probably right, but.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, this has been great. Thank you so much for. Hopefully, we entertained a few people. I know we entertained Bronco Bear over there in Israel. So,
stay safe over there, Bronco Bear.
Yeah. To all the people in the chat, thank you for dropping in.
Thank you.
all the people that will watch this later on replay, I hope you enjoy it. So, and make sure to tune in this Wednesday night for the great ghost episodes. We'll be showing a lot of creepy things, and so we hope to see you there Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern on this channel. So until then, we'll all wish you all well.
All right.
And stay safe, everybody. And good night, Paulo. Good night, Rod.
Thanks, Ron.
And Steve,